we wanted to bring back our company, Jessica DeLoach and Chris Plante, to keep a conversation going. Guys, we wanted to get your thoughts on something. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but Rutgers University has actually declared that grammar is racist. I had to dig into this a little bit to figure out what it meant, but they have announced that their English department, their curriculum will not be based on proper grammar, but on each individual's vernacular. I mean, their whole goal of doing this is for social justice. But Jessica, do you think that this is the right move? Is this a win for social justice?
Well, I think this is a decision that can be made on an individual basis among colleges across the country. So understanding African American vernacular English, I think, it's not easy for people who do not use that primarily. I think that there's going to be a learning curve here. If you're a professor, you're going to want to make sure that you understand what that means, what that is, how to adjust your grading. And then also just looking at the effect that this will take in society, in the workplace. It's going to take time for people to learn how to respect this. And I do think that the way you speak is not an indication of your intellect. But this is going to be a slow climb. I really do think so. It doesn't bother me, but as a person who has taught college students before, I would have to learn exactly what I was doing before I started grading papers.
You have a good point, Jessica, but I also think that it creates an interesting slope here, Chris, because it's whose vernacular do we pull in? I mean, there are a lot of ethnicities in America. We're the melting pot of the world. So where's the standard here? And are we lowering a standard instead of opening up opportunities more for these students? I mean, part of me feels like, is this the right move?
It's not. It is a sort of a reinvention or refabrication of the age-old concept of teaching Ebonics in school. It is about the failure of the academy, the failure of grammar schools and high schools to educate properly in the first place. We have people, as you said, from all over the world. Vietnamese immigrants may have an accent when they first learn English, and their children may not. We have people from southern Alabama and Louisiana that have very distinct regional dialects. But we don't say we're going to teach those because some people speak that way. It's the soft bigotry of low expectations. And it again is, and really what it serves to do is to further polarize and balkanize along lines generally of race, because it's not about Vietnamese immigrants or their children. It's not about people from southern Louisiana, Alabama. It's about African Americans versus Caucasian Americans. And it's about liberals on college campuses in the process of dismantling the lessons of the Enlightenment, not just of American traditions and history, leaving Black people behind once again in the name of, we've reinvented it now as social justice. But really, it's a refabrication of Ebonics. It does a disservice to Black people to say, you don't have to learn standard English. We'll just work with that because we're somehow guilty of something. It's the English language. We should speak the Queen's English or the King's English, and we should teach the King's English or the Queen's English. It is our language, after all.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Jessica.
I have absolutely no idea what you were just getting at, and I spent all of that time listening to you trying to deconstruct what was coming out of your mouth. Do you know how many times the English language has evolved since people came to the United States? If you applied what you just said to that, then no one would be in good standing based on your standards. And also,
that's not
what's
true.
So about understanding culture? And you started talking about dialect. How does the way you say have anything to do with the way you write? I mean, I would love for you to answer those questions because nothing you said makes sense.
A great deal.
Well, I think
nothing I said makes sense, really. Standard English is a unifying force in the United States of America. Is that not true? It's one of the things that unifies us as a common language. We make jokes about we and the British Americans and the British divided by a common language. In the United States, we should not have or encourage the academy to, speaking of deconstructing the English language and leaving the pieces on the floor so that we don't speak the same language. And in university campuses, we teach that this is a good idea. This is okay going forward. This is going to make matters better. It's going to bring about greater social justice. It's going to further polarize. It will perpetuate divisions that already exist rather than seeking to erase them.
This is obviously a hot topic. That's why we wanted to discuss it. I thank you guys for joining us for this. This is a great conversation. I appreciate all of your opinions. Fantastic. All right.
All right.
Lindsay,
Well, Sean, I want to get your take because I think they both have really
Yeah.
good points. But, you know, one of the things, and I hear Jessica's point, but I think the point Chris is trying to make is like, do we lower the standard
That's
and
right.
leave
And
people
that's-
behind again?
That's right. I mean, like the language is one thing, right? And if you start saying that every dialect gets to alter it, then it doesn't become a common language anymore. We keep going down and not up, right? Which is we should figure out how do we bring people up to that language, not how do we push it down. This is the problem. And Chris was right. We keep saying we're going to push it down. We're going to do this, as opposed to how do we create a better educational system that'll raise these people up that have problems speaking, that are from different, but this is the wrong direction.
Yeah, I think you're right. You create more opportunities for them, not just lowering the bar so that they can't succeed later on. It's
That's
not
right.
a remove.
All right, guys, tomorrow we've got an exciting show. I'm so thrilled that Congressman Dan Crenshaw is going to be here. You've got a lot to talk to him about, including his new book. Congressman Doug Collins, he was at the hearing today with AG Barr. He's going to break that down. Then we're going to talk about the impact big technology is having on our lives. The senior counsel for the Internet Accountability Project will be here. Also, former special advisor to the president, Pam Bondi. This is going to be a great show.
You won't want to miss it. That's our show. Greg Kelly Reports is up next.
All right, set your DVR. Thanks for being part of our company. Hope to see you tomorrow.